Today, we will set the intention to go back to your childhood, back to a time when you decided to dial down or disconnect from the spirit world. You might have seen a ghost or an eerie shadow, and that spike of fear came up, and it was like, no, I don't want to be connected to this. Perhaps you were telling your parents about seeing a spirit, and their reaction was absolute fear, and so you decided to turn it down to save them. Perhaps you dialed it down just simply to fit in with the people around you rather than relying on the spirit guides and your invisible friends. So, again, we're going to go back to a time back in childhood when you decided to switch off, dial down, turn off your connection to the spirit world. So, let's check in. First thing that comes to mind, is it all right with your unconscious mind for you to release this disconnect from the spirit world and for you to have conscious awareness of it? And just notice that there should be that yes. And if there's a no, it does indicate that there's still a level of fear here. And so you may want to check in with your intention about why you want to connect back into the spirit world. But for those who said yes, it's like, yes, let's reverse this. Let's bring that connection back to the spirit world. Let's go into that process. So trusting the first thing that comes to mind. How old were you when you decided to dial down or disconnect from the spirit world? What age comes to mind? Were you 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or possibly younger? So again, how old were you when you dialed down or disconnected from the spirit world? And knowing that we have a number or a place in time, we're going to go back to that time. That number gives us a bit of an anchor point, a bit of direction where we're going today. So getting ready to go on a journey, ready to go into that meditative state, I want you to take a deep breath, sit back, feel comfortable, knowing that this time is just for you, focusing only on my voice. And my voice is going to guide you to go to a deeper state of relaxation, feeling safe, knowing that you've got that golden light surrounding you now, warming you up from the core within, feeling that golden light start to shine and elevate your energy. Imagine your entire being feeling this radiance as the tension in your muscles just start to soften and melt away. Notice how it is welcoming to just allow that tension just to melt away. All of the to-do lists, the worries, the busyness of the day, all of that can melt away. You can come back to it when you need to, if you want. You've spent enough time being responsible and being a grown-up. Now it's time to play and discover something truly magical about you, just to relax into this experience. As you settle into a comfortable position, allowing yourself to relax deeply, take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. With each breath, feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper into relaxation. And I'm going to count down from 10 to 1. And with each number, you will find yourself becoming more and more relaxed. Just drifting into a deeper state of calm and peace. On 10, feel your body starting to relax from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. And on 9, allowing your mind to become quiet and still, letting go of any thoughts or worries as they just drift off on a cloud. On 8, feel a wave of relaxation spreading through your body. soothing and calming you. And on 7, sinking deeper and deeper into a state of complete relaxation. On 6, every muscle, every fibre is just becoming loose and limp. On 5, halfway there, feeling so calm, so peaceful. And on 4, going deeper still, feeling a sense of serenity wash over you. On 3, with every breath you take, taking you further into relaxation. On 2, almost there, letting go completely. And on 1, you are now in that deep, relaxed state, feeling calm, peaceful, and serene. Knowing that you feel lighter and lighter, I invite you to float up out of your body, floating higher and higher, floating higher and higher, and getting in touch with your timeline. So intuitively, you see that timeline of yours, and you know which way is your past and which direction is your future. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to float all the way back on your time stream, going all the way back to that very first time in this life where you dialed down or disconnected from the spirit world. You don't have to consciously know. Your unconscious mind will just give you a sense of that moment that you dialed down or disconnected from the spirit world. And knowing we're going to go back to a time in your childhood, just invite you to start floating along that time stream, going all the way back, all the way back. Because in a moment, not now, I'm going to ask you to drop down into that event, to see what you saw, to hear what you heard, and to feel what you felt, so we can resolve this old challenge. Being completely safe as you observe what you were doing down there when you were a child. And so on 3, 2, 1, dropping down into that event, dropping down to when you turned off your connection to the spirit world. And as you drop down into that moment, just pause and take notice. Is it daytime or nighttime? Were you inside or outside? Is there anyone with you? And for those who are listening and unsure about what they're getting, just invite you to lift the veil, like lifting the blanket off your face when you hide in your bed. So instead of shying away, we can look at this with that grown-up perspective. So lifting the veil up off your face, just checking out what's going on around you as a child when you disconnected from the spirit world. Start to take notice. What are you doing, seeing, or experiencing? From this safe perspective, just check out what is happening or not happening that's so challenging. Is there anything being said or not being said that's created this disconnect? I want you to freeze that scene and notice that there's that little version of you. I want the adult you to come into that scene. So protective and so nurturing. I want you to bring in that adult version of you to kneel down so you're at eye level with that little version of you. I just want you to introduce yourself. Let them know that they are that special. You've come all the way from the future to be with them now. And just to reassure them that they're okay. You are with them and they are with you. Checking in with that little version of you. Do they trust you? Knowing that they trust you, I want you to scoop up that little version of you safely into your arms. And like Peter Pan, we're going to float up, we're going to fly above that moment in time, and we're going to travel back to your safe place. So feeling yourself floating up higher and higher and magnetically being pulled back to your safe place. Now this could be a beautiful garden to play with the fairies. It can be like a tranquil beach to play with the mermaids. But I want you to be in a place that's so safe that it has like that bubble of light or fence around it, so that only you can be here unless you invite them in. You're in a safe place. I want you to send that little version of you all the love and acceptance and joy you could ever need or want. So let's check in with that little version of you. There was that scary, yucky moment back there where they disconnected from the spirit world. And I want you to check in. Where in the body are they holding on to that disconnect? Where are they holding on to the fear or the situation? Where is that energy being stored in the body? Sort of scan your body from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. You know, is it in the gut? Is it in the head? Is it in the hands? Is it in the legs? Where is that disconnect or that fear from the spirit world? And as you take notice of that energy, is it yours or somebody else's? From this adult perspective, trusting the first thing that comes to mind. What have you learnt from dialing down or disconnecting from the spirit world? And if this energy was somebody else's, what have you learnt from holding on to other people's fear or other people's stories? Is there anything else that little version of you needs? You're in a safe place. I want you to notice all the places in your body where you previously held onto that old energy. And we now invite that pure golden energy to stream in from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes, warming the core of who you are and the core of that little version of you. As that warm golden glow pours in, just like liquid crystal, I want you to notice any heaviness, any of that dialing down or disconnect from the spirit world just starts to wash away. Observe the heavy energy of fear, self-doubt, not enough, the anger, the powerlessness, any sadness just simply resolves and dissolves from the physical body, resolves and dissolves from your emotional body, and resolves and dissolves from your mental body. You've learnt everything that you need to from that disconnect, and it's now time to make a change. It's time to learn about enhancing and trusting your spiritual connection. So, with that in place, let's call in your guides. So exciting! I want you to imagine a warm, comforting light pouring into your safe place. This is that light filled with love, wisdom, compassion, patience, and trustworthy energy. Like that cylinder of light just pouring into your safe place. It just streams in with that support, that kindness, and easy communication. As that cylinder of light starts to become stronger and stronger, you may start to notice like an orb of light, or a guide, or a loved one in the spirit world, or an angel, or an archangel. A loving being is in your presence and come to you upon your request for your highest good. And in your safe place with your guide, I just want you to notice there's that immediate connection, there's that trust, there's that peace, there's that confidence. Whether it's light, a loved one, an angel, an archangel, guide, however they show up is important to you. And this being gently shares that the fear of the unknown comes from a limited perspective and is part of that scarcity and separation construct. You have the power to rise above and let go of those limitations. You have the power to overcome any challenge you face. Noticing that when you are free of those limitations, you can manifest your heart's desire in an empowered state. Embrace this power and trust in your ability to create the life of your dreams that you envision, filled with abundance, joy, and love. And trusting your connection with this guide, you recognize that you have met them before. You and your spirit guides spent many, many hours planning this life, and together you felt enthusiastic about working together to accomplish your goals and to create the dream life that you want. When you prepared for this life, you chose to learn lessons in this lifetime. While in the company of your guides, let's ask them, what did you set out to learn from this lifetime? Notice that the answers may come to you telepathically as insights. And so it's just like trusting the first thing that comes to mind. What did you set out to learn in this lifetime? Ask your guides for words of encouragement regarding these lessons. As you receive these messages, take a moment to reflect on how they resonate with your current experience. Embrace the wisdom offered by your guides and let it guide you on your path moving forward. While we're in the company of your guides, I want to check in with them. What is the role of your guide in helping you learn these lessons? How can they help you learn these lessons? What's their role? Benefit do they gain from guiding you? Here's an interesting question. How did you know this guide in a past life or in the spirit world? And why were they the most appropriate being to support you in this life? What is that next piece of information you need to know that will forever change your life? Notice the rich aha moments and the clarity just pouring in, knowing this clarity will continue to stream in gently with this connection to your guides. And shift in energy strengthens your aura and builds upon that protection of your energetic boundaries. With that in place, it's time for your guides to step back as you connect to that little version of you. We'll ask the adult you to look at the little version of you and share with that little version of you all the words they need to hear, the words of wisdom, the words of kindness that will assist them in moving forward with this trusted connection to the spirit world. Instead of holding back or hesitating to ask for help, all you have to do is ask your guides for a sign, and they will provide the answers for you. This can come in as numbers, butterflies, signs or symbols. It's all about being a child and playing and exploring to connect to your guides. No matter what they do, no matter where they go, you always have access to your spirit guides, who energetically share the wisdom and insights you need to thrive in life. So checking in with that little version of you, how does that little version of you feel having access to that type of connection? With everything in place now, it's time to leave the safe place. It's your choice whether you take this little version of you back on your time stream, or perhaps you want to bring them into your heart space so that they can play with you in the next steps moving forward. If you choose to take that little version of you back in time, I want you to start to travel back on your time stream, traveling all the way back on your time stream, just before that moment where they disconnected. Noticing that they see things differently, they can just observe their spirit world instead of taking on the human world's fear. They can look upon those events with a curious and open mind, ready to play with all of the possibilities. And if you choose to bring that little version of you into your heart space, then all you have to do is simply look them eye to eye, starting to shrink them down and bring them into your heart space. And it's just like they merge and blend in with you as you accept them for who they are. They accept you for who you are. And they can travel with you wherever you go. And so you can love and play and just explore how the spirit world supports you. It's just like you say to yourself, yeah, I matter, and these connections matter. With all of that beautiful energy in place, it's now time to travel back to this present moment, swiftly floating along your time stream. But before you come all the way back to this now moment, I want you to start to notice down there on your time stream that we just start to switch off all of those moments that you had that fear. And instead, we turn on the light so that you can start to see those events for what they truly were. And notice how, as you start to shine the light on your time stream, how things start to change. Your time stream starts to shift and adjust as you start to travel all the way back to this now moment, with that knowing that things are going to get a lot easier with a lot more fun. And so as you start to travel all the way back to this moment, I want to just go one step further. Let's play with this. Let's go into the future, about a week or two. And I want you to notice what's different about being in the future a week or two with those signs and the symbols, knowing there's that connection to your spirit guides. Noticing that version of you in the future with that confidence, knowing that your guides are there with you, making things happen. Noticing there's that version of you in the future who doesn't have to have rigid boundaries anymore. It's about feeling empowered. This is your life, and you get to do things your way. Notice what you have to believe about yourself to show up strong, confident, compassionate, receiving this support. Being the observer, receiving the signs from your guides, the numbers, the butterflies, the dragonflies, the birds, whatever's right for you, the feathers. And you become more familiar with how your guides like to talk and connect to you. Noticing how they give you guidance and those guides for your business, for your relationships, for your parenting, your healing guides, guides to get the good kappa. We're just going to notice how they work together as a team, welcoming them in, and see how they just co-create, collaborate to make things easier for you. With the support in place, I want you to now float back up above your time stream. And as you look down on that time stream, I just want you to notice where you feel that sense of clarity, that connection. Where is that in the body? And with that feel-good feeling, I just want you to pour all of that on your time stream in all directions, into the past and into the future. Just swoosh all of that good energy so that you can tap into that clarity, that confidence, wherever you go. So now it's time to start journeying back to this present moment, bringing with you all of those amazing, rich aha moments, the clarity, the confidence. And it's time to start traveling back to the body. Starting to notice as you hold your head high, taking a deep breath in. I want you to notice that with every count from 5 to 1, you're going to come back to this present moment we call reality. So on 5, feel yourself coming back to a place we call reality. You deserve all the rewards this life has to offer. On 4, expressing yourself in a unique way, looking for the successful opportunities to support your mind, body, and soul. On 3, always knowing you can solve any challenge. On 2, starting to wiggle those fingers and toes, heart rate back to normal. Big breath in. And on 1, opening your eyes to a whole new you. Oh. Super, super powerful, right? Super powerful. And just as I'm even recording this, feeling the team, the guides holding the space, just the energy was so expansive. Wow. Okay. So you may want to have a glass of water. You may want to go for a walk, maybe take your shoes off and ground and connect back into this now moment, resonating at this time. Or you may need a heavy meal to really like sink back into the body, whatever's right for you, but just making sure it's just like the roots of your soul anchor back into Mother Earth, because a lot of the times us empaths, we love to float back in the spirit world. It feels so much lighter. And so, yeah, I encourage you to do all the good things to anchor back into this now moment so that you can step into those rich ahas and open doors to possibilities. With that in place, if you have a reflective mind, if you want to journal, I would check in about what are the new choices available to you now? Like, how do you want to connect in with your guides? What do you want to create? What do they recommend or suggest? Remembering that you are the CEO, you are the boss, and your guides will help move things on the checkerboard of life according to what you want. People will get stuck when they look to their guides for detail, like, okay, what do I do? And you are actually the one in charge. You're the one who says, okay, this is what I want to create. Can you guys help me support and make this happen? And you will feel lighter when you get that yes from them, like, yeah, awesome, like, let's do this. If your intuition is saying, let's go create this fun thing, then yeah, ask your team to start to help you with that. Check in with that part of your body that felt that certainty, that confidence. Connect in your guides from that space. Most people will feel that from that heart space energy. It's less going to be a connection in the mind. The mind is all about the logical, the steps in creating things, but the heart space is that infinite portal to your guide. So whether it's a heart space for you or even in your gut, whatever came up about that certainty where you feel that confidence, connect into that to connect into your guides. And yeah, moving forward, making sure that you bring play into your world, getting a bit playful, getting engaged with that little version of you to see the world for all and the wonder and the beauty it has to offer. So, with that in place, enjoy that beautiful connection to your spirit guides.